day, I think she got mad at us as her employers and decided to leave with the whole stock, which fit in a bag.
Oh my gosh.
And the money she had collected that day.
What?
Yeah. And the irony is all our stock was actually in a bag that she left with.
Yeah, it was a lot of trust. Yeah.
So that was one of the challenging moments.
Yeah, at that time I felt like the world was ending.
Oh gosh.
How much was the stock in the bag?
It wasn't worth more than 6K, by the way.
And
Hello, champions. Welcome back to the official Chpter podcast. And today's an exciting day. We have Bett from Purpink joining us. So can't wait to hear that story. So on the Chpter podcast, we normally interview amazing entrepreneurs and e-commerce experts. They share their journeys and practical advice around how they built their businesses and mostly focused on e-commerce businesses. So please subscribe if you haven't. This is our 5th episode, super exciting, and we look forward to bringing you more and more entrepreneurs. Bett, it's great to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. So Bett and I met about 8 years ago in an interesting competition called, it wasn't a competition actually, it was a prize. It was our top 25 under 25 entrepreneurs in Kenya. And we were part of that cohort in 2015.
okay.
So that's pretty cool. We were young then.
Yeah, full of dreams
Yeah, before the character development and everything.
began.
Oh gosh.
So, but he was 3 years into his business, Purpink. So, Purpink is it's actually the leading online gift shop in East Africa. He's served over 500,000 customers since inception. You've been consistent 11 years. That's a long time to be building a business. So, we can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks. 11 years, it feels like it's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
One rough patch from another. Yeah, but happy to be here, happy to have gone through that whole process. And it's funny that we met almost 8 years back.
Yeah.
So I guess we all had different ideas of what business was going to let us do then. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, you guys, at 25, you're 3 years into business.
So he started his
crazy.
campus like us, right?
Yeah.
So that's a recurring theme, which is quite interesting.
Oh gosh, that's
In fact, we should start from there.
Yeah.
Like, how did you start? How did you end up decide to build this? Especially starting from campus. Why?
Yeah. So Campus was was a funny part for me. First of all, I wasn't. Campus was Strathmore.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to go to Strathmore. I had been called into med school.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but my then girlfriend was studying in Strathmore.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and she said Strathmore has this good IT course. And to be quite honest, I was only doing med maybe because of the way your parents push you.
You pass and then it's
Where were you
obvious.
called to?
Nairobi.
Oh, you
Wow.
were.
Med, yeah.
So this guy was giving us the story.
And I wanted to do med, but I wasn't called for med. So I did architecture.
Architect.
Yeah.
But then I'm not even practicing architecture. So it's like just business is crazy. How it turns out.
It's funny how you change. Yeah, because we had been called and all my parents knew. But, you know, Strath usually has this diploma program, DBIT, that they start before from January.
Okay.
And then you have normal degrees and like
From
UN, we were
June.
going to start probably at around October.
Okay.
So I told my parents, let me go here and do IT in Strath as I wait for my uni call-up.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the irony became that I never left.
So you went through the whole program you did.
Yeah, so I did
DBIT.
DBIT, crossed over to business and IT.
Yes.
Yeah, and joined Strath now fully.
Yeah.
When in Strath, I think Strath those days, there was a bit of a culture change. You had a lot of new courses. You had law school starting up. So you had all these new rich kids, big car parks. You had then you had guys who were coming in from regular high school
Yeah.
Okay.
to join accounting.
Yeah.
So, and it's smack right almost in the middle of Nairobi.
Yeah.
So we started wondering what would we do to make money
Okay.
Okay.
Because as students, you're always broke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah.
So like we can't keep asking our parents for money. So we came up with this idea of buying things from downtown, like really nice gifts and items that other students would be interested in, and selling them to students in campus.
Oh
How?
man.
What channel? Like how
Face
did
to
you?
face. Face to face.
So you are hawking, basically.
In the back of your car.
Yeah, ironic. No, I did not have a car.
Oh my.
That-
Okay.
that you've gone
Okay.
far.
I've gone far. Okay. Okay.
I used
okay.
to walk in town. The mileage I used to cover. So we were hawking, and you'd be shocked how many people called us hawkers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A big amount. But it was fun, and what we used to do is buy like jewelry, bracelets, and everything.
Okay.
So my co-founder was very passionate about it, and we stuck to ladies' items. I think what had just hit then for the ladies was button earrings. So we could buy. So our actually starting capital
Yeah.
was not 500 bob, was actually 380 shillings.
What?
380.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
My gosh.
So we'd come from an ice cream date,
Hey,
and with the money left from the ice cream date, we're like, no, this time we have to invest.
Oh
So we
gosh.
don't have to borrow money for ice cream. or
Wait, so
for-
is
Next
this the
time.
girlfriend who had made you go to start in the first place?
Yes.
Wow. Uh-huh.
And who
Okay.
a couple of years later is now currently my wife.
Mm.
So,
Hey,
yeah,
big
we-
up D. I know D. Yeah, D. She's a power woman. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was the big driving force behind the idea.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So from my side, I was just winging it. I said, okay, clearly we are going to do this, and then you're doing that in Strathmore.
Yeah.
Strathmore is a really
It's a bougie school.
Bougie school,
And
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
there
yeah.
selling
High value customers.
high value customers.
I was like, all the street cred we are going to have now, we are going to lose. But
Must say,
it's
those
okay.
hawkers.
Yeah,
The hawker couple.
yeah. But shockingly, when we started, the reception was very different.
Yeah.
When I thought we'd be met with shame, guys were fun. Guys were supportive. They were like, I want to get, especially the dudes. They were like, I want to get my girlfriend something for her next party. I
Okay.
want to get her a gift. Can I do this? So people were engaging with us. Like after a class, we would just open because all our stock used to fit in a small bag, and guys would look around, and guys would buy, and guys were so supportive. So the reception was completely different from what we thought.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So those were the beginnings.
And
Yeah.
and on those beginnings, do you remember your first sale after that ice cream? And do you remember your first sale where you were like, man, hey, better we can take this thing serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first sale where we thought we could make this thing serious. So we started. It wasn't giving us that much, but we kept investing it into stock. And then the holidays reached, and Diana had to go home for the holidays. So where she was operating from home.
Yeah.
And I was now operating in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And what happened? A friend of ours was like, you know what you can do? You guys can actually try selling these things on Facebook.
Wow.
There's
Okay.
a new Facebook group that has opened. It's called Sokoku or something of the sort.
Wow. Okay.
It was very new.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys create a Facebook page and sell from there. Facebook groups, that's where everyone is doing business. It was very new. I mean, being early adopters and being the first time we are hearing about it,
Yeah.
you're like, this is very, very new. So we created a Facebook page. She went home for the holidays. And so she was doing customer service and posting on the Facebook page while I was doing the deliveries.
Okay.
Now-
You're physically going to do deliveries.
Exactly. And
Wow.
remember, it's 2012, 2013. The whole do the delivery wave had not come.
I had
in.
not even started.
So
Yeah.
our strict mode of transport within Nairobi was actually matatu.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's dope.
It was so
Yeah,
fun.
it was
So
fun.
the first order, we started with those items. Then we started selling watches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember one day, I had a friend of mine. He was called Kimani. So Kimani was a guy we used to hang out with, and he was a guy from Moranga.
Yeah.
So he used to work from my parents. So one day he followed me and was like, let's see what you actually do. So we started getting deliveries. So I used to pick some of the things from downtown.
Okay.
Picked them in my big stock bag.
Okay.
Took a mat. Our first delivery was Kileleshwa.
Okay.
So when we tried to take the mats from Kencom, I think we realized it was too packed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had the delivery in Riverside. So we're like, let's just walk. So
Oh,
from
okay.
Tao, we walked to Riverside, did our
Wow.
first delivery. Then we were not getting a mat. So continued working. My next delivery was Kilaleshwa.
Okay.
Till
So you started,
Continue
you
working
routed.
Kile- As we
Yeah.
were chatting and talking, it was a chilled out day. From there, with my bag, and when you reach every client, as they're buying things, they're opening and looking at other things.
You're upselling as you go.
You're upselling, and it was fun because you're getting into very rich neighborhoods, apartments. You see, so there's always something to
Then
talk
the
about.
ambition grows.
Yeah, the ambition is great.
Like, oh, people live here.
Oh my
Guys
gosh.
are living so well.
Yeah.
So after that, we walked to until we ended up in Junction,
Okay.
and we've been walking.
Okay.
So we did Junction, and he was like, we finished our first delivery and started going back,
Yeah.
thinking we'll get a car.
Okay.
But the way Mats were going and we were talking, so I think we walked around and ended up back in town. So we did
Oh
a
my
whole round
gosh.
trip on foot.
Have,
Oh
have you
my
done all your
gosh.
deliveries?
Yeah, finished our deliveries.
So those are like less than 10 deliveries then.
Yeah. There were like 5, but it felt like everything.
And
Wow.
today, I'm sure you're processing like way more.
Way, Memo.
And you're doing it across the whole East Africa. Are you getting even like global clients? How's
Yeah,
that looking?
we have a couple of global clients. We have people who are shopping for their loved ones. We have a lot of diaspora clients. We also have guys who are shopping for products now to be shipped globally. We didn't know that was a thing. We started as a company only to serve the Kenyan market.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's happening is there are even guys abroad who want our products. There are Kenyans who are sending gifts to their loved ones abroad, and there are Kenyans who are buying gifts for their loved ones here.
Yes.
So there's that interchange. There's other different countries that just want the product. So it's completely opened up.
Interesting. And you have physical stores now as well.
Yeah, now we have physical stores. In our corporate side, we have 2 physical corporate stores. We have 2 physical retail shops. We have 1 on the way and a couple of more.
Okay.
So yeah, it's totally
really-
different from
it's
where
great.
we were.
But majority of your business is online through your website. How did the name come about? How did you now professionalize?
And even just before that, this Kimani story.
Yeah. So how did Kimani?
Yeah.
go?
So like there's something special that happened that day.
Yeah.
Maybe you can walk us through that day to now saying, okay, let's incorporate Purpink.
So-
Like that in between.
Like that's a round trip. You've walked to Junction and come
Yeah,
back. We're
yeah.
with Kimani, and we reached there. Hey, I noticed he's hungry, so I bought him chicken at Sanford's.
Okay.
Then, as he was eating, he told me, "If this is the way money is going to be made, then
Yeah.
I'd rather stay there."
Oh my gosh. It works is
Yeah.
like, this is too
This is
hard.
hard
It's
work.
too much.
This is
And I
labor.
remember that to this day. And for me, what I realized, I wasn't tired. I was so excited. The whole process was so much fun for me that I never realized that we had actually gone a long way. And I never felt
Yes.
tired. And the next day I was out there doing the same thing. So that's the time I realized this could actually be a career.
Interesting.
So, and this could actually be my life. This is something interesting. This could be
Yeah.
serious. I don't know where it's going to end up.
Yeah.
Maybe we might end up having one shop and doing something, but
Yeah.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I could
So
wake up, I could do this every day.
I could do this every day.
I see. That's really insightful.
Yeah.
So what Kimani saw as hard work,
Yep.
that's where your ambition was born. You were like, okay, this is
Yeah.
something I can do every day.
Yes.
So how did you travel after that? So did you just continue? When did you now kind of like get more people or do your first store or build
Yeah.
a website? Like how did that progress?
So obviously Diana came back from the holidays and we went back to our second term of school because we were still uni students.
Yeah.
And as the orders started becoming more, we realized as students, we couldn't continue doing the deliveries ourselves. So as, whenever you walk in Strath, there are those ladies who wait for work outside the stores.
Yeah.
So we were always very nice to all of them. So one was a particular friend of ours. So it's like, and normally they sit there and they wait to get paid like 500 shillings
But they
per day because that's the whole day. So like instead of you sitting here, why don't you come and help us do deliveries? Because we still didn't have bikes. The only bikes then were run by guys like Fago Courier, DHL.
super
I
expensive.
see.
Super expensive. And the whole Ndudi culture hadn't come in.
Yeah.
So she was like, fine. She was called Kate. She took our stock bag and started doing deliveries. And so we would control the Facebook page and everything, and she would take maths and do the deliveries. Within no time, she had to recruit her friend who also started doing deliveries for us because that time we used to do cash on delivery. They'd bring back cash. they'd do the deliveries. So it was all good until one day, I think she got mad at us as her employers and decided to leave with the whole stock, which fit in
Oh
a
my
bag.
gosh.
And the money she had collected that day.
What?
Yeah. And the irony is all our stock was actually in a bag that she left with.
Yeah, it was a lot of trust. Yeah.
So that was one of the challenging moments.
Yeah, at that time I felt like the world was ending.
Oh gosh.
How much was the stock in the bag?
It wasn't worth more than 6K, by the way.
And do you remember which year this was?
Yeah. So
Crazy.
we are still in 2013.
Hey, you haven't even met for the
No,
25.
no.
This is
year
early.
one, huh?
By the
Hey,
time we were
sawa.
meeting, we were more refined.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
now that happens, and then what happens after?
So after that, we realized it's not good to trust someone with all your stock, first of all. After some time, the lady was apologetic. She wanted to come back and everything. We didn't let her come back. Then I think she understood how we were doing our business. So after some time, we found our stock selling online in the same Facebook circle.
Hey.
She tried to do the same
Same
business.
thing, no. But nowadays we're still friends. It was funny even for us. But now we realized, hey, look, we're going to need to make this professional. So what we did, we applied for IB's Strathmore. They had an incubation app. They had started it out. And they were doing this whole IB's incubator business. And I was like, yeah, you can get investment. You can get an office. So it's mature. That time we're still second year. We are now in third year. So we went and pitched for the incubation hub. And we didn't get in. We failed.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
And so this guy was like, yes, you do a gifting business. Can you guys come after Valentine's? So I think we pitched on January.
Okay.
And the February 14th was coming up. So one of the guys there, I think he was called Bobby Wayawe. He's a mentor and a coach currently. He was like, what you guys can do after Valentine's, come pitch for us again. Tell us your numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we did Valentine's. That time our total revenue was not even past 5-10 Gs.
For the month or for just Valentine's?
No, 5-10 Gs for the month. Now we're getting into Valentine's. And that Valentine's we did well. We did 150 Gs.
Wow.
Wait,
That's
from
over
January
10.
5,000,
Yeah,
February did 150,000.
14th. Only Valentine's, February 14th.
oh, one day.
150 Gs.
Wow.
One day.
And you delivered all of them?
No.
That's another
we don't
another
want to
story.
get into that. No, but we had just two guys who were unhappy. And to be honest, that client, I think if we remember each other, we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
He ordered and filled in Moy Avenue.
Oh.
So you go deliver in Moy Avenue, only to realize it's Moy Avenue, Mombasa.
Hey, but Bet, remember an order from 2013 Moy Avenue? Yeah, that's
I think
like
I
very
remember
precise.
all
That's-
our customer complaints have a way of getting to you. So
Yeah.
I think I remember all customer
All of them.
complaints. That's one thing I don't think I can ever forget.
Gosh.
That's fine. Yeah.
So when we pitched again, the guys at the pitch were very shocked and they were surprised. And they told us, yeah, come on in.
Wow.
And so started our short stint at incubation.
Yeah.
I think we spent a total of 6 months. And the hub was very supportive. There we were with other new businesses. There was Chochote. There was Buy More. I got to meet a couple of other guys. I met guys from Sandy as well.
Okay.
And there it started. We started saying this is gonna be serious.
Yeah.
So Campo comes. The attachment comes in because we had to do our internship.
Yeah.
And the university is like, you need to get a job so you get your internship.
Yeah.
But luckily, Strathmore was very forward thinking, and we went to
Okay.
our lecturers and told them, we run a business. We're going to do our own attachment in our own business.
Yeah.
And they supported that.
Oh, that's cool.
Same story. That's really cool.
That's
we
really
also
cool.
did our internship
Internship as a-
In your own
our
business.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's
And
dope.
the lecturer came to review us in our own business.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. And now you're growing.
Yeah. And now you're growing and it's serious and you're taking it seriously. And I think at this time, the attachment period is so nice because I think it's almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Where you're not even focusing on school. It's everything.
Pure business.
Just
yeah.
pure business.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there we grew now from one employee. We had now outsourced our deliveries.
Yeah.
The smaller companies in Nairobi had come in that were now assisting in bike deliveries.
Yeah.
We had some guys, I think they were called on-time deliveries. They had
Okay.
2 riders.
Okay.
for everyone.
Okay.
But we used to get one dedicated. So they used to
Okay.
pick our things at lunchtime and deliver the whole afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And very nice
Wow.
guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
And after some time, we grew, and now we were able to buy our own bikes and hire
Okay.
our own riders.
Oh, wow.
We talked to Strathmore and were able to move into the Strathmore Business School side. We had more space. We could now pay rent. And the beauty about that is now the business was real. So here we are fourth year students. Fast forward. You have like 5-6 employees, you have offices, you
Yeah.
have riders.
Yeah.
The business now is growing and it was fun. This is serious, this is what
Yeah.
we're going forward. So at that point, things were doing really, really well. Yep.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
Man,
Yeah.
before you even graduate, like you kind of have like a view into what you want to spend your time doing.
Yep.
So like during that time, like I'm guessing there was another transition into, okay, from school now you're going full time into this thing.
Yeah.
So how was it now when it was now your day to day? You're waking up,
Yep.
going to like Purpink. Like how was that process like? Any challenges?
So second challenge now came in because I think my life has been a life of just one challenge from
After another?
We've moved out. We're now in school. We were in Strathmore, but now we needed to move out of Strathmore. And when you leave the school, that protective shield,
Yeah,
the
goes
rent they
away.
were charging us was very, very, very minimal, was friendly.
Yeah.
Now we had to move to our first area, which was a very small office. It was at Magharibi near Langata. So we didn't want to go so far away from Strathmore because we used to do some corporate gifting with them. And here we begin. And I think when we left that shielded area, then everything started coming, which is issues with employees. You have issues now with accounting. Every business challenge that you could throw at us, including Kanjo, just
It
came.
started happening.
Because in Strathmore, it's very shielded. So
Yeah.
Kanjo was not there. You didn't know how to do these things. It would be very hard for the employees to misbehave there. There was a bit of structure. Now there's no structure. So that was the most challenging time for us.
I see.
And I think during that time, we worked so hard to try improve our systems and everything. And we were always firefighting.
I see.
To the extent I used to enter work at 7 a.m.
Wow.
or 6 something.
Okay.
And I used to leave at 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that point in time, Diana got an idea and said, we're always doing gifting. But you know what else goes hand in hand with gifting? Flowers.
Okay.
So she decided to take a course at a local florist school and learn what flowers are. After she did it, she came back and I told her, now we need to see where the big guys who sell flowers are based.
Yeah.
So we started heading to, and where is that? City Market.
Yes, yes, yes,
Now,
yes.
for a
yes.
guy who's never gone to City Market, the transactions that happen in City Market don't happen at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's
4 a.m.
early in the
It's
morning.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's 4 a.m. with a specific language. Just should understand. So you have to learn the local language.
Oh gosh.
You have to go there at 4 a.m. because if you're not there at 4 a.m., then you miss flowers. And most of the flowers arrive at around 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
From 5, they're booked.
Oh gosh.
So we started going there. So we used to pick flowers from there. A lot of the local florists there know us. And what we were looking at is even before we tried digitize the florist thing, we need to understand what these guys have been doing. So it's a really, really big market.
Okay.
We used to pick our flowers.
Okay.
So by 6 a.m. we're back at Magharibi place.
Okay.
Now we process flowers as you're talking. It's just
I
two of
see.
us.
Okay.
And then now, when the rest of the team comes in, we had one florist. She can start making
Okay.
the bouquets, the one we had trained, as now we continue selling online.
I see.
So that continued for
Okay.
a few months before we could get, and when we started selling flowers online,
Yeah.
sort of grew and our customer base grew and then we expanded online and now we could deal directly with farms.
I see.
But that's a very abridged version. It took long before we could get there.
I see.
One thing I really like about your business is that you've always been at the cutting edge of technology.
Yeah.
Like when Facebook groups started, you were there.
Yep.
Now you have like chat commerce, WhatsApp marketing, and all that. And you guys started this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Like, how do you keep abreast of this tech? Do you have a full-time team? And what's been the evolution to where your business is today?
So the good part, and I think we overlook it a lot, is our background. Me and D is both software. Okay, so BBIT, but we majored heavily in software. But the innovation and tech, we get it because I feel that sometimes, even as a business person, when you look at local solutions for your business, especially in Nairobi, 90% of them are very tailored for corporates or are very expensive. I'll give you an example. When we were looking for a website, the big companies that were doing website then were agencies.
Okay.
Wow.
The quote you could easily get for an e-commerce website was a meal,
Wow.
800 Gs. Yeah. So you had the big guys, Creative Edge, you had all these big tech companies, but they were heavily built to serve corporates.
Okay. And
So
you're
you
a startup.
yeah. So
You
you
didn't
go there,
afford-
they want to give you a quotation. You don't even know how you use a quotation because
Yeah.
the decision makers are there. It's either you can afford it or not.
Oh, yeah,
They tell you
yeah.
go back home, we'll send you a quotation. So that process was tricky. So we started using tech and we started being on the cutting edge because we realized if you innovate well enough, then solutions can be cost friendly for you.
Yes.
Facebook groups was free.
Yeah.
Our first website was on Magento. It got hacked by a guy in, I think it was a guy who was doing it just for fun, a guy in Algeria.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it was playing a Katy Perry song and it had like a puppy and the puppy had his fingers like pew, pew, pew,
Oh
you've been
my
hacked.
gosh. Oh, hey, when you've been through
And
it.
this guy has the guts to tell us, I want you to send, I don't know how many thousands of dollars to Algeria to us or your website. You'll never see your e-commerce website again.
Gosh.
So I'm like, okay. I think he got tired. We reset it.
Yeah.
But then we moved. So that led us, that was almost 2014, 2015.
You developed that site yourself?
Yes, through Magento. So still a CMS,
website
but
Yeah.
now developing on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we realized, and Magento kept crashing every Valentine's, every big holiday. Magento would crash.
The traffic
Yeah,
couldn't handle the traffic.
It couldn't.
Yeah.
So then there were some guys in Canada who had launched Shopify
Yeah.
Wow.
then, and everyone in the US was talking about how Shopify is easier for small businesses and
Yeah.
everything. And I think we got into Shopify.
Yeah.
I think if they check their records, we were one of the first companies in the country.
Yeah.
Very few apps or local
Yes.
apps had even started creating for Shopify. I remember us going to our payment gateway, the very
Wow.
big now, PayPal, and telling them, have you guys heard about Shopify? Are you creating like
Oh my gosh.
Who's Shopify?
we'll look at
What
it.
is that?
Yeah. But luckily for them, they were also very fast to come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we were one of the first. We didn't even have logistics tools. Now you have big
Yes.
apps like Letter who are
Yes.
doing shop. You guys also have
Yes,
a plugin on Shopify.
exactly.
Like right now, when we look around, we're so happy. But that time,
Yeah.
everything on Shopify was based in the US.
I see.
interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, like, yeah, I can see you really on the cutting edge, like Tesh was saying, even from how you're speaking. So I'm also curious to know just like what does this enable you to do in the business? Like just using tech, does it like make you more efficient compared to like the competition, things like that? Like what have you seen by just leveraging tech?
I think in the business that we are in, it's a very competitive business. And then it's a business that in Africa, a lot of people don't think it has any potential. So the first thing we've had to change
Yeah.
by using tech is, hey guys, you can sell flowers in Africa. Not
Oh,
only
yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
can sell flowers in Kenya,
Yeah.
where flowers are priced in euros and cents by the farms because they were never meant for here.
Yeah.
They're meant for export.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then getting to have consistent return clients, that meant we needed to do things like email flows.
Yes.
So we
yes,
started
yes.
using, we started doing email flows via MailChimp, automated email flows, moved to Klaviyo quite early.
Wow.
And we started doing this because we were trying to find a way to retain clients.
Okay.
So most of this necessity has been born through hardship.
Yes. It's because we have only 100 customers. Let's make sure they always come back.
Yeah,
So
those
what
days
do we need
it's
to
not
do?
even 100. You're
Yeah.
talking less. Let's
Wow.
make sure they're coming back. So we had a very big repeat customer rate, 60%.
Okay.
Like all our customers were literally coming back. They knew us. So leveraging on that repeat customer rate is what really our tech was for, number one. How do we make sure these guys keep coming back? Then now we can't afford, we don't have money to hire a dozen employees. How do we make sure Bett can easily monitor A, B, C, D? So that we do that. So tech was able to bridge a lot of those things for us. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always,
Okay.
I think it became a culture from there.
I see.
That whenever we have a problem, we think, is there a tech way we can solve this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be like a lean team, but then you're operating like it's a massive operation.
Yep.
Because you're leaning a lot on the technologies.
Yeah.
you
And
use.
if you think about it, that's exactly how a lot of big American firms were. They've tried to really leverage, and that's what we tried to do at the same time. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so very fascinating story, honestly. What have been some of the greatest, lessons if you had to share with budding entrepreneurs? What has kept you going? What are some of the mistakes you didn't want somebody to make, etc.?
Yeah, I can start with mine. I I tend to feel that for very many entrepreneurs, when they get into their business, like for us, it's a gifting service. So, and I usually punish myself for this a lot of times because I always felt that I was meant to do something bigger. So a gifting service, no, it's small, it will never grow. And so at one point, I actually, during my time in entrepreneurship, I stopped and I even we were continuing and I tried to, as we were doing this on the side now, we had a gig for supplying computers. Now we were doing
Okay.
selling IT equipment
Okay.
and things like
Okay.
that. And it kept messing up. Until one day I was so discouraged and I came back and my co-founder told me, in the span that you've been trying to conquer all these big things,
Yeah.
we've been able to grow our customer base from this to this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, you are trying to look for greener pastures.
Greener
yet you have
pastures,
it right
supply, maybe do a
Yeah.
few tenders, supply the big
Something
ministries.
more rosy.
Yeah. Make more money, make it bigger because that's what the world tells you
Yeah.
that you should. And she told me in that time we've done this. This is sustainable growth.
Yes. Yes.
So for most entrepreneurs, I think what they do is they start a business that is giving them good sustainable growth. Then from there, they decide they want to do something bigger. They want to move it to real estate. They want to do what? And I think that really messes up a lot of people. Yeah.
So focus.
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 Focus on that one thing.
Yeah.
Grow with that one thing.
Yeah.
And it will always take you to levels. Like for us, other guys are shocked. For the last 10 years, all we've done is Purpink.
Yeah. And we can see the change.
We can see.
Yeah, you
Perhaps.
can see
Perhaps if you
steady.
don't mind, because I remember we started from. It was 5,000 a day. The days you're working in Kilimani.
Yeah.
Maybe now, maybe this year or last year, what's the largest number of orders you had in a single day? So that you can just kind of picture that growth. It's been 11 years.
Yeah. There are days. Our business is still a heavily seasonal business.
Okay.
So you have days like, I think days like Valentine's where our capacity is now 3,000 orders on that single day.
Wow.
Yeah. That doesn't
Wow.
mean that's the same orders we're doing every day
Yeah.
because it's seasonal.
Yeah.
But you see these spikes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and our capacity has grown. And right now, what we're looking at internally is we're not really looking at growing our orders. We're looking at how do we grow the value as well.
I see.
Because
I see.
our market is small, it will take time. And we'd rather have a good, manageable product
Okay.
than try to conquer everything and
Yes.
release and
Yes.
reduce quality. Yeah.
So we're hanging out recently, the three of us, and somebody tweeted me asking, like, did this guy get any external funding? So I feel like having grown such a huge brand, people are thinking, is this bootstrapped or you got investor capital to plow in?
Yes, bootstrapped. The only owners are me and my co-founder.
100%.
Yeah, not for lack of trying.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is another challenge I get
Another
into.
thing.
I could get into challenges all day. I remember when we used to pitch, and I know Tesh is a
Tesh,
master doing this
yes,
thing.
yes,
Sometimes
yes.
I feel like I should just give him my presentation.
You can do it in his sleep.
In his sleep. But I remember when I used to pitch, and I think investors are tuned to focus on certain things. And we'd pitch, we'd go to early stage discussions, even with companies like Sandy that grew and everything. And I remember I used to go pitch, and if we were after a tech company, you'd feel that, and we are a tech company,
Yeah.
you'd feel that the investor's attention is completely not.
Yes.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
This gifting.
Yeah. I remember, I think there's a time I cut and raised for a guy called Heshan Da Silva. So I was talking to the whole group and I'm giving them what Purpink is, and everyone is waiting for Heshan.
Oh my goodness.
So it reached a point, it was cut and raised, but I loved it. It reached a point I was like, with no further doubt, we finished and I welcomed my next guy. So I even did the intro, even if I wasn't supposed to.
Oh, gosh.
And so funding never happened.
Yeah.
And then it reached a point. And I think our story for entrepreneurs who are out there who have tried to fundraise and it doesn't work, maybe it's better for them. So it didn't work, and we were like, let's just do this. Let's just
Yes.
focus on our business.
Yes.
And let's enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is
And-
powerful.
Yeah.
Which is powerful. It gives you a different mindset to how you build in terms of investing or being resourceful.
Yep.
Really, just when you have a lot of money, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
It forces you to be really creative. I'm sure.
Yeah.
In terms of how you grow.
Well, it's a problem I'd like to go through, having a lot of money.
It's not. It doesn't sound like a bad problem.
It doesn't sound, but I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
It's forced us to be creative, and to the extent that when we meet people now, they're like, how many investors do you have? And
Yeah.
they're like, not yet.
Yes.
We're still on the lookout, but right now we are very selective, and we want someone who will work with us. We're looking for a strategic investor.
I see.
And in our range of business, there are not too many. The bigger
Yeah.
companies are based abroad. There are
Yeah.
not too many people like that. But I think the bootstrapping helps us to be a bit more selective right now.
Yes. And you've built a very, very resilient business
Yeah.
in the process.
Yeah.
Because the fundamentals need to work from like day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so personal experience is we've had situations where we're investor reliant, which is not a good place to be, trust me. So if you mentioned resilience, business resilience. I think that's super important and it's a big lesson for any entrepreneur. Be as close to the
Profitability line.
line as possible.
As
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
And I think for different types of businesses, it gives you time to understand. So maybe when we sit here again,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about how we finally got investment and how that went.
Yeah.
But I feel for what we've gone through, maybe if we got it too early, we wouldn't have done as well as we have.
So you've got investment at some point.
Nope.
Okay.
Still not yet. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
if it
one day.
happens,
Okay.
you'll invite me.
I know.
All right.
But no,
Sounds good.
not yet.
Any like bank facilities or anything like that?
You see,
Also
for you to
just-
get a bank loan, you need to have something banks usually hit you with at the front. Security.
Yeah,
So you need to have
it's-
security, which is either a prot or rand. You
Yeah.
understand? That's just the MO. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
for a young business, where are you going to get that from?
22-year-old.
Yeah, and as much as my parents and love me, they won't guarantee you with every
Yeah.
idea you have.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
They won't guarantee all your ideas, and we didn't want to go there because that was complicating. So what we did is, I think we've gotten a lot of support through SACCO.
Okay.
So as directors, I joined a traditional SACCO.
Okay.
Tried to borrow small amounts, not really a big thing, but
Yeah.
to just
working
help
capital
ourselves.
needs and
Yeah. And I know it's not as glamorous as a lot of people want to hear, but if you have access to SACCOs,
Yeah.
they offer 12%. It's a standard way. It's the way
Yeah.
our parents have done things. It's the way everyone
Yeah.
has done things.
Yeah.
They offer accessible capital to people if you're not able to get
To go
that
to the
venture
bank
capital.
yet.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So for banks, I don't think they like us very much because even at our current stage,
Yeah.
we've not been very front with facilities.
Yeah, we've seen. I think alternative sources of capital are important to just solve for those working capital needs. And a bank would give a loan to a big business. Smaller businesses would be much
struggle.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thing that comes to mind that you'd like to share as we wrap up?
As we wrap up, I think for all the guys who are looking at starting a business or are in a business, I think for the last couple of years, it's always one challenge after another. I think the first 5 years was us trying to perfect our model, which I think we got really good. From there, the next 5 years was dealing with human resource, because as your team grows, those problems go. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
After that, now you start dealing, when you're big enough for the world to notice you, now you start dealing with government and institutions, be it you have tax issues, you have city council, you have OSHA, you have all these alphabet government agencies that have now noticed, this business is there. And does this business do A, B, C, D?
Compliant.
So now you deal with compliance. So it's a wave of challenges. So from where we've reached at 11 years, we've gone through all that. And I'm thinking for a guy who's starting business and he's like, right now I'm going through a very big challenge of maybe capital raising. There's more to come. But the beauty is if you ride these challenges, there's always a better place at the end when you overcome them.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So just keep on going.
Yep.
That's the only way.
Yeah, that's you just keep going and you take challenges as a way to learn from something.
Yeah.
Because they're always teaching you a lesson.
Preparing you for the next phase, bigger and
the
better.
next phase.
What's next? What's What should we look forward to?
So right now, Purpink, we're looking at expanding.
Okay.
We're looking at getting into East Africa,
Okay.
Kampala, Dar es Salaam. And this is an interesting part because I think we're dealing with now new cultures than what we have. So that's where that's what we're looking
okay.
forward
So
to.
a
It's a
physical
new
presence.
area. Yeah. And so that if you have your girlfriend or your wife in Kampala, you can easily send her a gift for same day delivery.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to wait. So
So today you ship, but it takes some time.
yeah, so today we ship next day delivery. So we've done it really well. It's next day delivery there, but what we want them to have is same day
Same day.
delivery, which requires us to have presence there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I think that's super cool, man. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. I think we'll definitely have you like very very soon, because just from the visit we went to the factory the other day, we could just see like you're in that scale up phase this year,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to see where the journey takes you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, please continue tuning in, subscribe, follow across our social media channels. Follow Purpink as well if you're looking for that gift, flowers for your loved one. Yeah, so really excited about this episode. Look forward to it airing. And so as we wrap up, as usual, we're going to share some tips.
Yeah.
So Mark.
Yeah, so today we're going to share some tips on how to keep your customers coming back for more. Which is very close to what Bett shared, because if you have a few customers, you want to make sure they're as recurring as possible. So,
And an interesting stat to share is, acquiring a new customer costs 5 times more on average than retaining an existing customer. So.
yeah, that's true. It's more expensive to acquire a new one than to upsell one you already have. So, tip number 1 is personalized communication. So you can tailor communication to each customer's preferences and behavior. Personalization fosters a deeper connection and encourages loyalty.
Nice. Yeah. Number 2 is reward loyalty with exclusive benefits. So you can show appreciation for loyal customers by offering exclusive perks or discounts and rewards, make them feel valued and incentivized to repeat making purchases.
Number 3 is provide exceptional customer service. Like Bett says, he remembers a customer in Mombasa. So go above and beyond to address the customer needs and concerns promptly. Exceptional service builds trust and strengthens relationships.
Yeah. Next is stay engaged with regular follow-ups. So no communication is ever too much. Just keep regularly communicating via email, newsletters, personalized messages. That helps you keep your brand top of mind.
Yeah, and finally, the only way to grow is by learning. So keep on asking for feedback from your customers. Feedback from your customers can help you improve your product and services. And it also shows that you value the opinions of your customers.
All right, guys. That's it for today. See you next week.
Thank you so much for joining up. Cheers, guys.